Hi, guys, and welcome back to Too Much. Today is a very special episode. It is my first episode with a special guest. And that guest, she's sitting right here. I don't know how to do this up. Anyways, everyone, I would like you to give a warm welcome to Ilana Dunn, the host of the podcast, Seeing Other People.
Hi. You just make me feel so special.
Oh my God. I feel special that you're here.
You're like big special guest, you guys. Everyone's going to be like, wait, what? Who?
No, guys, what? You don't know who Ilana Dunn is? Jesus. You've been living under a rock? Welcome. So excited to have you. Like I said, this is my first time having a guest on my polo. I'm not going to be able to speak today.
You're doing
My
great.
solo podcast journey.
Your polo podcast.
Yes, correct. So how you doing?
I'm great.
Last time I saw you, you were
chaotic mess.
Chaotic. I guested on Ilana's podcast. Was that like 2 weeks ago? She had a little bit of a mishap when I walked in the door. Pretty much, she was going through a crisis. Do you want to tell people what happened?
Yeah, I was having a great day. Had some good physical therapy. Took the subway downtown to go get lunch at Maman, and having a great lunch. And all of a sudden, I get notifications that there's a lot of money being spent on my credit card. And I'm like, I did not just spend $400 on shoes at Foot Locker. I also did not just spend $500 at Best Buy. I also did not just buy a ton of I don't know what at Wine Emporium. This is like back to back to back.
This is like literally a demographic of a man.
Yes.
Like Best Buy, Foot Locker. We can figure out how old he is, probably where he lives. I'm going to say he's like 42. I'm going to say single. And I'm going to say he lives in like Murray Hill.
Maybe. Maybe. He was on 86th Street that day. But all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, that's clearly not me. I gotta go. I sprint out of Maman. I'm trying to figure out what the hell happens. Clearly, I reach into my pockets and there's no wallet to be found. I'm like, cool. The kicker was I never bring my wallet anywhere, Emma. I do not bring my wallet. I have my credit cards on my Apple Pay, and like, unless I know that I'm going to need my ID for anything, I don't bring it because I know I'm just likely to lose it. So I was filming a day in the life vlog that day. I knew I had a few things going on. I was recording with you. I had the lunch. I had the PT. Like, it was a day of things. So I was like, oh, since I'm recording this vlog, I'm going to bring my wallet so that I can film myself tapping into the subway.
How would you pay for things if you had to use your phone to film
Exactly. I can't film and go through the turnstile at the same time. Yes. So I brought my wallet for that. So, I go through the crisis of like, got to cancel the credit cards. I try to go report my ID stolen. It's a whole thing. It's a whole mess. You come over and, clear my head for an hour. We had a lovely hour together.
We also had never met in person. And I just get like a minute and a half long voice note from you. And you're just like, so here's the situation. And I was like, say no more.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know I'm very chaotic right now. I had to give you the heads up. So anyways, the next morning, life goes on. I go to bed. I wake up as we hope to. And I start editing my day in the life vlog. And I see this clip of me going through the turnstile. And I'm like, oh my God, what was that? Emma, you guys, I filmed myself losing my wallet. My wallet just in slow-mo dramatically falls out of my pocket while going through the turnstile. And I didn't see it in the moment.
Unbelievable. The fact that you had it falling out too. Like, I kind of wish it was someone reaching into your pocket. Like, that would have been like insane. At what point did you stop filming the day in the life, or did you film then this process?
I filmed myself going to the 19th precinct to report that it was missing. That didn't go well. I filmed the whole day.
That went viral.
It didn't, which I'm really mad about, but it's okay.
Well, we're gonna make it go viral now.
Thank you.
I'm gonna link it in there.
It was a journey.
Well, damn. Ilana Dunn, podcaster and new wallet owner.
Correct. I will say, like, I almost feel like I deserved it.
Because you were filming?
Because I was filming.
You were influencing?
Yeah. Like, it was a casualty of the job.
Seriously. Like, these are the risks that we take.
It's true.
We're putting our lives and our bank accounts on the line every single day.
It's true. And I will say, the one thing that hurts the most about this is, like, I've been wanting new shoes, but I'm not going and spending $400 on new sneakers. And I just really want to know what this person got. Like, I think I deserve an unboxing of everything 100%. That this man bought.
100%. I don't know how that works. Like, do they go after him and he has to like return the stuff, or do they just give you your money back?
And they just like cancel the charge, and I don't think that anyone's going after him.
I don't know. I'm smelling another like 5-part series here on TikTok. I think we should like hunt this man down and like get to the bottom of this.
To be continued.
Yeah. What were these shoes? Well, amazing. I'm glad you're having a better day today.
How about you? How's your day?
My day has also been chaotic, and I'm also ironically filming a day in the life because I had a couple meetings, had a lot of work, and then I obviously am here with you. I have another podcast I'm going to guest on after this, and then I have a dinner. So I was like, this is a chaotic day that I would love to show people.
Keep those zippers closed.
Yeah, exactly. I hope I don't have a catastrophe like that. But like literally in my day in the life that I'm filming, I'm like half like typing, half icing my face because like I had 2 fucking martinis last night and it was just like one too many.
What kind? How do you like your martini?
Dirty girl vodka martini with a goat cheese filled olive.
That's a dream.
It was Hillstone.
So goat cheese filled olives are superior, but they're so hard to find.
Correct.
And I'm even disappointed when I can't get blue cheese olives. But like, there's nothing better than a goat cheese olive.
I also feel like a lot of restaurants in New York City gatekeep their olives. Sometimes if I say, you know, can I have a goat cheese olive? And they say no, they don't say, oh, we have blue cheese. They don't give you an alternative. So now what I do is I say, do you have any fun olives?
Ooh.
Do you have any stuffed fun olives? Because I'll take a fucking jalapeno stuffed olive. Like I'll take anything stuffed. I like my girl stuffed, you know?
Agreed. That's a great life hack. Thank you. I'll be using that.
Anyways, so this is what I like to call going down the rabbit hole.
We're very good at that.
A, because I feel like everyone just says like, let's dive right in. And I just can't do that anymore. And B, it kind of goes with the branding of my podcast, which I don't even know if I've like ever told anyone about, but it's a Alice in Wonderland reference. So we're going to go down the rabbit hole.
Do it.
And today we've had a lot of people writing in just like topics they wanted me to cover. And some of those have been how to find a good partner, like what to look for in a partner and like how to weed out the bad people while you're dating. And then just like green flags to look for, red flags, all that. So I was just going to say, we're going to dive right into that.
We are going to dive in. And for the record, you did talk about it because I remember you sharing the quote of like your muchness.
Yes.
You were muchier.
You're too much. And it's the Mad Hatter. So then I do the down the rabbit hole and yeah, there's a lot of like little breadcrumbs that I do, Easter eggs. So anyways, I would love for you to explain to the world your current relationship status. I would love to know how you met him before. I don't want to say who he is in your life, but how you met him, all that.
I am married. Dun, dun, dun.
Guys, she did it.
I did it.
We have someone in here who's living, walking proof.
I did it. And to clarify, like my dating life was an absolute dumpster fire, which is how I ended up working in dating. I made bad decision after bad decision. I felt hopelessly alone and single and like, will I ever find my person? I'm trying everything. What is wrong with me? And I made a lot of mistakes and I learned from them. My husband, Jake, and I met in February of 2021. This was 2 months after I lost my job running Hinge's social media. Our beginning stages, there are a lot of lessons in that too. Like we had matched previously on Hinge.
Oh.
And never spoke.
Okay. Wait, also context. How old were you?
I was 26 and he was 27.
Okay.
We had matched previously and never spoke. We matched in the beginning of January. He messaged me and I didn't answer. And a week later, he followed up.
Oh.
And I had a prompt in my profile about loving the Jonas Brothers. His first message was like, hey, by the way, I also love the Jonas Brothers. And
that's so cute.
I didn't answer. And I don't know why. The one thing I do know is that I was talking to / obsessing over a different guy at the time.
Got it.
So there was no like, ew, or like, I don't want to talk to this guy. I think I was just like distracted.
Yeah, eggs were in a different
So
basket.
I didn't answer him. And a week later, he followed up and said, hey, figured I'd try again. How was your weekend? I responded like within an hour being like, oh my God, I'm so glad you did. We got into a whole conversation about, you know, our favorite Jonas Brothers song, our favorite Jonas brother.
Whose is yours and whose is?
I was a Nick girl growing up.
Of course.
I think he said Joe. I'm team all of them, but Kevin.
Mine have, really, and yours is Kevin now.
Kevin's incredible.
Mine have ebbed and flowed through my years.
I feel like,
yeah, what do you think I am?
Ooh. Wow, this is like fun.
Yeah, this is like the Sex in the City. Like, what character am I? What Jonas brother do I want to bone?
Joe. You don't know.
No, now it's Nick. No, now it's Nick. Even Joe when I was younger, when he had like the fucking emo hair and everything, like I was all about him. I've never been a Kevin girl.
He's like,
he is hot now.
Personality, like Kevin is, I mean, they're all good. Anyhow, we can talk about this. That's a rabbit hole. That's correct. Yeah, so he had to follow up. We had to match multiple times. And
a lot of effort right out the gate.
Yeah, a lot of effort. And it was also COVID. And it was like pre-vaccine COVID. And so my roommates and I at the time weren't seeing other people because we were seeing our parents.
Right.
And so when he asked me out, I had to say like, this sounds fake, but like I can't see anyone for a few weeks. I'll let you know when I can. He thought he was never going to hear from me again. A few weeks later, I reached out and was like, I'm in the clear. And then we went on our first date.
And you've been together ever since?
We have.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was this like when you were together in person right away, chemistry or slow burn?
Slow burn.
Okay.
My whole dating life was defined by 8 to 12-hour long first dates where we walked around the city holding hands until the sun came up. And I would go home and go to my roommates and be like, oh my God, I'm in love.
Mm-hmm.
And every single one of those situations would crash and burn.
I can relate.
Mm-hmm.
I would like love bomb myself.
Oh,
like I'd
1,000%.
already be sending out the wedding invitations at the first date, and then none of those worked out.
Yeah. In New Girl, they have like the douchebag jar.
Uh-huh.
So my roommates and I, post-grad, we lived together for 2 years. Like we all had a thing where like if we said X thing, we had to put $1 in the jar. And mine was like when I came home from a date and said, oh my God, I'm in love. Like
you had $1 million.
It happened all the time. No, it was a very fine first date. We had some things in common. There were definitely some awkward pauses. He was really nice. Like we had a lot to talk about, but I didn't leave thinking, oh my God, I'm going to die if I don't see this guy again.
Yeah.
I left thinking like, it was cute. It was nice.
What did you do on your first date?
COVID, outdoor dining, February.
Oh, okay.
20-degree dinner at Quality Eats on the Upper East Side.
Amazing.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, COVID fucking built or broke relationship.
Yeah.
Like, if you could start one and you're still together, like that is a strong ass relationship.
Yep.
So were you still seeing other people like while you were, does he know this? We don't.
Yeah. No, he knows all. This other guy I was obsessed with, we'll call him Brad. I think I had gone on like probably 1 or 2 dates with Brad when I went on my first date with Jake. And like I said, like I was obsessed with Brad, like obsessed. And I usually wasn't one to, try and date multiple people at the same time. But I actually think in this situation, it helped me because it allowed me to compare and contrast the situations. All I wanted was to know that Brad wanted to see me again. I just wanted to confirm that we had our third date, our fourth date set up. With Jake, after our first date, he texted me and said, I had a great time. I'd love to see you again. With Jake, after our second date, he said, I had a great time. I'd love to see you again. I was going away for a few weeks. He said, I know you're going to be gone. I'd love to talk to you while you're gone and see you when you're back. Jake didn't give me a split second to feel anxious or to not know where I stood. So I had these 2 guys, and a friend of mine actually said, like, Ilana, do you like Brad? Like, do you even like Brad? And I'm like, why does it matter if I like Brad if Brad doesn't like me?
Interesting.
And he's like, Ilana, do you like Brad? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, does he like me? And my friend was like, Ilana, you can't even say that you like this guy. You don't.
Right.
You just want him to like you.
Thank you.
Lo and behold, Brad ended things. And I was like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm actually not upset. I'm relieved because A, like, I didn't like him. I just wanted him to like me. And B, it made me realize how safe and secure I felt with Jake, even though it was still very early on. But it made me feel so comfortable just seeing like the difference in my normal anxious tendencies and feeling safe with someone.
Yeah. There's such a difference also, which took me like a long time to realize as well until I got into my relationship currently, that there's such a difference between compatibility and chemistry. And like that chemistry, I've talked about this in a couple episodes, and actually Sabrina Zawahar taught me this. And essentially it's like, that chemistry is a spark in your anxiety. That butterfly feeling is not good.
No.
Like, it's one thing when you're on an airplane, but like you have that butterfly feeling because you feel like you're going to die. And then if you have it in a relationship, like that's literally your brain going into fight or flight because it's like, holy shit, this person is making you feel anxious. It's making you feel panicked of like, when am I going to see them again? When am I going to hear from them again? And like, that's not compatibility.
No. Butterflies, fireworks, these are all,
sparks.
Yeah, these are all bad things.
They're things that
you don't want. You literally don't want to feel them. You just want to feel like calm and happy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess butterflies can't kill you, but the sparks and the fire.
Enough butterflies? Yes. Probably could.
100%. Everything in moderation. So what are like some green flags that you maybe were overlooking, like when you guys first started dating and you were still giving Brad attention?
Yeah, I think, because I felt so, I knew where I stood with him, that he wanted to see me again, and I expressed that I felt the same. I wasn't like pining over him. Like I didn't feel like I had to win him over. But what I realized was that meant I felt like I could be myself. On our third date, I had just gotten my COVID shot the day before.
So exciting.
This is so takes us back. And I had woken up the next day and he had taken off work to take me on our third date because he worked at a restaurant group. He worked on the weekends. And so he told me he wanted to take off work to take me out. And at first I was like, that's aggressive. Like, I didn't say that to him, but I remember saying to my cousin, like, that feels really aggressive.
It's stage 5.
Yeah. Like, does he really want to see me that badly? But like, so nice. Like, such a nice gesture. Like, I should want to be with somebody who's going to take work off to spend time with me.
Like, of course.
Yeah. So again, like that actually was a green flag. It wasn't aggressive. It was really genuine and kind. And, you know, we always complain of like, we want people who are going to make time for us. Like, yeah, this is somebody who was like intentionally making time for me. So there was that. I woke up feeling like absolute shit. I made a fake sling for my arm while I was like putting my makeup on and getting ready because moving my arm hurt so much from the shot. I had Moderna. I was knocked out. I had like a fever. I was not okay.
I don't know why. I thought you meant like you were going to bail and say you were sick and be like, I broke my arm. Like I made like a fake sling.
No, I was committed to going because he took work off.
Right.
I felt horrible and we ended up having an amazing day. We did like a really fun brunch and then we walked around and then we went back to, you know, bars we went to in our early 20s, probably the same nights and we didn't know each other. But I had an amazing day. And like he had to cut my food for me. He had to like help put my jacket on. And at the end of the day, I was getting in the cab and I was like, I'm just going to go back to my apartment and watch One Tree Hill for the next 4 hours. Like, you're welcome to join. And he came and I changed into like pajamas. Like I put my hair up, I took my makeup off and we just laid on the couch for 4 hours, like watching my favorite comfort show. And this was like an, oh my God, this is somebody that on a day where I feel absolutely physically horrible, I can feel so comfortable and myself with and have a great time.
Right. And he was like a part of that making you feel better.
He was everything of that. And that was a really big like light bulb moment, turning point of like, I want to see this through.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just got the chills. How spaced apart were these dates? Like that you said that was your third date?
So our first date was on a Monday. Our second date was on the following Monday. And then I was going away for 2 weeks to visit my cousins in Florida where I could be outside and not freeze. I ended up getting a phone call that I could get my COVID shot. It was Friday. They were like, you can come get it on Saturday in Midtown. And I was like, okay. So I came back a week early.
Right.
So it was a week.
Okay.
They were all a week apart.
Did you ever, I mean, this is also like back in your single dating days, have those situations where you would go on a date with a guy and you would be together like every single day for like the next 5 days or something?
Definitely.
Did you feel like those were the biggest crash and burns?
100%.
Yeah. I used to be that person. Every single guy that I liked or even had a good first date with, like it was, I'm not kidding, I left by myself, I think, like a lot. I would just like OD on that person. 1 week I feel like is healthy. But like it makes such a difference of giving them time to miss you and you time to miss them.
Yeah.
And like really builds like so much more of a meaningful connection.
Well, you also, when you get into a relationship or even early stages of dating, you have to maintain your sense of independence and your sense of self. Like I think that one of the biggest mistakes I made in my early 20s with dating was as soon as I met somebody that I liked, I made my whole world about them. You know, I rearranged my schedule for them. I wanted to hang out with their friends instead of mine. I wanted to immerse myself completely in their world. And what would happen is I left behind the things that made me me and the things that brought me joy outside of this person. So when inevitably, because of all this, it crashed and burned, I was like, oh my God, I'm nothing without this person. Now I feel like I'm at rock bottom. I have to build myself back up. I have to, you know, make good with the friends that I've abandoned because I've just been focused on this guy. And it felt horrible every single time.
Yeah. I was the exact same fucking way. I was like that TikTok sound. I was like, hey guys, like walking back into the room. I'm like, it's me. And everyone's like, fuck you. And then I sit here and complain of like why I don't have long-term friends. It's like, I was an idiot in my 20s. That's why.
Yeah.
So important to just still prioritize that time with your friends, like whether you're single or dating. Like that should be the constant in your life.
Yeah.
Like that part shouldn't ebb and flow.
Right. Because also think about it. Like if someone starts to develop feelings for you, they're not just developing feelings for you, they're developing feelings for you and your whole world. And, you know, you're you and you're happy and you are the way you are because of the different people in your life and because of the different things that you like to do. And so if you ditch all of that and leave it all behind, then part of the reason why this person fell for you to begin with is disappearing and going away.
Totally. And also like, not for nothing, your friends don't have the love goggles on. And like, if there's shit that's not cool
Yeah.
Like they will tell you, or they should tell you if you have good friends, but then also vice versa. It's good for your partner to like build those relationships with your friends, like especially if they're going to be a part of your life. Now I feel like Mr. Right definitely has a relationship where he can like text my girlfriends and ask them like what ring I want or something. Or like what to get me for Christmas, which he does. He phones friends for like gifts and stuff like that. But like I've never had that before because it was always so separate.
Yeah.
And I feel like even if your friends are single, it's so important to still include them in your relationship because it's like we want to go on this journey together.
Mm-hmm.
At least I do.
I think for me, part of it, and I'm like thinking this as we're talking, and I've never actually like thought this out loud before. Like I so desperately wanted guy friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like in college, my friends and I, we craved guy friends. And like we didn't have that. I remember specifically like a snowstorm where it was -20 degrees and we like trekked halfway across campus because these guys invited us to like play beer pong. And we're like, we're doing it for the guy friends. I wanted guy friends so badly that I felt cooler when I would go hang out with whatever guy I was seeing and their friends. Mm-hmm. So it made me so much more willing to do it because it wasn't just like the guy. It was, you know, this false sense of coolness where it's like, I didn't necessarily look at other people who had guy friends and think, oh, wow, they're so cool. I just wanted them.
Yeah, because you feel like, oh, I'm one of the guys. Like I can hang with the guys. I still feel the same way. I went to the Hamptons with my boyfriend and his like 5 guy friends over the summer. And I was like, I'm so sick.
Yeah.
And then like one of the other girlfriends like went the next weekend. I was on the first half and she was in the second half. And I felt like I like tapped someone in. Yeah. But like at the same time, then I got like jealous.
Right. You're like, are they having more fun with her than me?
I literally was like, but like you guys still like we had a really good time, right? Yeah. Like, so illogical. But like it's also funny that like we are so much for some relationships, some partners, like the girl is so much more willing to hang out with their partner's friends than sometimes like the boyfriend wanting to hang out with the girlfriend's friends.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I mean, I guess it's like
it depends on every relationship. Yeah.
It's person to person, relationship to relationship. But to me, like I want to like build that ecosystem now.
Yeah.
I think that's also because like I was a Friends show girl growing up. So like I wanted to live across the hall from the guys and like I wanted us all to get married. You know, that was like the dream. So I just think it's like so important to like have that interdependent relationship and not just have it be like, I'm going to come home and tell you about every person and then you're never going to meet them.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Were your friends and you like all single at the same time or was like everyone dating or were people in relationships?
That was tough. So post-grad, I moved in with my 2 best friends from college and we were all single. And within 2 months, they both got boyfriends. And I was in the flex room. It was really tough.
Fuck.
I think that made me feel more like all I wanted was a boyfriend. It was like so pressure. It felt like, wait, it seems like everyone else can get that, but I can't. Like, why not? And it definitely also was hard in our friendships because they were like focused on something different. And
they go on double dates.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Or everyone would be over at the same time.
No, it's hard.
That was hard. But what's interesting is I remember, and this wasn't about me, but one of my roommates who was in a relationship, she had a separate friend group of 5 girls and they were all single. And they were saying like, let's call her Amanda. Like, Amanda, you're missing out on like the fun single years of our 20s. We're all going out without you. Or like, even when you come out, like you're focused on Joe and not us. You're missing out. You're missing out. We wish you were single with us.
Toxic as fuck.
Fast forward, that relationship was around 2 years. They broke up. And within a few months, those 4 other girls all got into relationships. And they were like, Amanda, it sucks that like we can't all do like dates with everyone together. And like, you can't win.
Yeah.
You can't win. It doesn't matter what other people are doing. You have to just focus on you. And like, also, don't ever make a friend feel shitty for their relationship status.
Whether they're in one or out of one, like you just need to be their friend. That's what I was saying before. Like the constant should be the friends.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people writing into me at least and asking like, how do you be okay being the single friend? And like, there shouldn't even be a fucking label on it.
There shouldn't.
Like, yes, you're the one that doesn't have a boyfriend, but like that shouldn't change anything in the friend group.
Yeah. I think for the most part, if you have mature friends, it's more a label that you're putting on yourself because, you know, there's something that you want and you don't have that.
You're insecure about it.
Yeah. Which is totally understandable. Like, trust me, I felt that way so many times. But I think the most important thing that you can do is make other single friends. And maybe it's, you know, reaching out to somebody you went to college with or you grew up with or who you lost touch with who is single in your area and reconnecting with them, grabbing lunch, or you go to the same Pilates class every week and there's a girl you like have small talk with. Ask her to get coffee. There are ways to find people And it's so important to be surrounded by people who are in the same position as you. So like you have someone to wing woman and go out with and have fun with or commiserate over, or, you know, when you feel like everyone around you is just talking about the relationships, like this person can be your escape. I think it's so important to find people who are going through the same things as you.
Yeah, agreed. I also think it's the responsibility of the people in relationships to still make time for their single friends.
Definitely.
And like you can't sit there and compartmentalize your friends in that way. I think with this relationship specifically that I'm in, I really make an effort to do that. I schedule girls' nights. I will go out with them and like my phone is away the entire night. I'm like, see ya, Mr. Ray. I'll be home at a semi-reasonable time. Not sorry.
I'm home when I'm home.
Yeah, home when I'm home. But like that takes a level of maturity and being comfortable with what you have, whether you're the single person or the non-single person. To your point of like being in the same like situation as someone, I have 3 or 4 single friends like in my friend group right now. There's only one other person that has a boyfriend. And like, you know, I'm sitting there like trying to like give advice as best I can. But at the same time, like I obviously didn't make all the right choices before. But what I do see a lot of them doing is like taking breaks from dating. How do you feel about that? Do you think that that's something that people should do? Or do you think it kind of kills the momentum? Like what are your thoughts?
I think if you are feeling burnt out from dating, you should absolutely take a break from dating apps. Because that's where usually the burnout is coming from the apps, from putting time and effort in, from swiping, from feeling like it's a game, from feeling just like swipe fatigue. That said, be open to meeting people.
Yeah.
I had someone DM me the other day saying they just got a short, toxic, love bomby situation just ended. And they're feeling like they're just doomed and they're not going to find their person. Like, what should they do? I'm like, take a break. Because if you're feeling this way, it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's what's going to happen. You're not going to find your person. You're just going to keep swiping. You're going to go on bad dates. If you are thinking that the date's going to go bad, it's going to go bad.
Right.
And so I think the best thing to do is take a step back, literally delete the app from your phone, or put it on pause, whatever you need to do to not go on, and just deprioritize dating apps for the time being. Maybe find a singles event to go to. Maybe plan a night out with friends where you're going to intentionally wing woman each other. Maybe ask around for setups, or maybe just take a break until you feel excited again, because dating should be fun. And if it's not fun, you're either doing it wrong or you need a break.
Yeah. Preach. Like you might drop on that. No, I completely agree. And I also feel like, you know, to your point of you should still be open to it. Not that I think break is the wrong word, but like it needs to be a reset on like yourself. And you need to get back to a point where like you're decentering the guy. And like, I always talk about it, but they say it happens when you least expect it. And my whole thing is like, it's not that you're supposed to distract yourself. It's supposed to be that you are so focused on yourself that the person will just be attracted to that like a magnet and come in and be like, wow, like you've got things going on in your life and you're awesome. And like you love yourself and I want to love you too. Ultimately, like, that's what dating is. Like you have to not show people like why you're lovable, but like show them by setting the example. Like, I love myself so much and I want you to see that so you know how to love me. Because it's like, this is the bar.
Right.
I can't, like, they're at the same level. It's high. The bar is high because, like, that's how much you love yourself. And it's hard to get there. And especially with burnout, because people are like the whys and the self-blame. And it's like, is it me? And like, it's not. It could also be that you're like going for people that like you're not compatible with, or like people who are toxic.
Totally.
There's a lot of like attachment issue exploration people could do, or not attachment issue, but attachment styles.
Yeah. Well, usually a lot of us have patterns of attracting emotionally unavailable people or getting into toxic situations with emotionally unavailable people. And what that ends up stemming from is you yourself being emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
And you might not be aware of it at all. You might think, Ilana, that sounds crazy. I know I really want to be with someone. Just because you really want to be with someone doesn't mean you're emotionally available. And there might be a lot of, or a little, but there might be an amount of like inner deep work that you have to do in order to get to a better place where you want to be. For me, in this phase of my life where I wanted a boyfriend so badly, I didn't really like myself. And I blamed my not liking myself on like, well, nobody else likes me.
Yeah.
If it was like a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night and I didn't have plans, I was like, well, I suck. I'm clearly a loser if nobody wants to spend time with me. I didn't know how to enjoy my own company and appreciate myself.
Yeah.
I needed all this external validation. And I think what happened was COVID actually just, you know, I moved back home. Like I was forced to spend so much time with myself. And I learned, like, I'm pretty fucking awesome. And I can entertain myself. And I actually don't need plans. In fact, a lot of the time I prefer to be not with anybody else.
Right.
And so coming out of COVID or, like a year in, I realized like more of my worth and what I had to offer someone. And so think about it. Like if you're having a shitty day and you're going out, you're at a bar and like you're trying to meet someone, but you're really just scanning the room and like you're not making eye contact with someone, no one's coming up to you, you're feeling shitty. You're probably looking shitty too.
Right.
Like you're not looking happy, you're looking disappointed, you're looking let down, you're frustrated. Why would someone come up to someone who looks frustrated and like angry and approach them? But if you're out with your friends and you're just like dancing and laughing and being silly, that's really attractive. And someone's way more likely to want to come up and talk to you.
Yeah. Because they're like, that person looks fun. I like fun.
Yeah. That person looks
fun.
happy. They're like radiating positivity rather than just like
resting bitch face.
Desperation.
Yeah.
And like we do, like I absolutely radiated desperation for so many years.
Ugh.
And I was desperate.
We've all been there. I absolutely was the same way. To me, a successful night was like if I got someone's number.
Yeah.
If I like made out with someone.
Yep.
It's funny, like when I look back at the people who I've dated, my dating history, you can tell how much I loved myself based on who I was with. It's like a very clear correlation of times when I hated myself and I allowed myself to be with a piece of shit. And then to now where like I love myself and I'm actually with an amazing person. But it took time being alone. I did the exact same thing, whether it was because of friendship breakups or a move or COVID. Like
work.
I did spend so much time alone. And I was like, okay, now you're competing with my solidarity. You are competing with me because I'm good by myself and I don't need someone to make my time more fulfilling. Like I can do that by myself. What are you going to add? What are you going to bring to the situation?
And I don't need someone to validate me because I can validate myself.
Right. Yeah.
Huge.
Like it's not up to someone else to apply your worth and your value.
Totally. But it's choosing who to invest your time and energy in too. And Jake and I always have said, had we met 6 months before, a year before, when we had previously matched, 5 years before, any other time, it wouldn't have worked out because we both weren't ready.
Yeah. I say the same thing with Mr. A.
We weren't.
I'm like, thank God it took me 5 years to stalk you because if I had met you when I was 26 and you were 27, like, ew, number one. But like we were both like emotionally available and you need to get to a point where you're dating smarter, not harder. And I think like that desperation can sometimes lead us to forcing situations or settling or like accepting love and partners that like we wouldn't otherwise. And it's like, you need to be smarter about it. Prioritize yourself and decenter them. That's where that dating intelligence comes from.
And pay attention to how you're feeling. I mean, I know in relationships and situationships that I was in my early mid-20s, that I wanted to be in, so I would have done anything to keep those people. I didn't feel good.
Right.
I mean, even the fact that I'm saying like to keep those people, because that's how it felt in the moment. I felt like I had to do and say everything right in order to keep them there with me.
And the worst part is like we did know what to say to keep them there.
Oh yeah.
Like relationship after relationship, it was literally like, oh, this didn't work in the last one. I'm going to say something different in this one.
Right. And I know that I felt not good. Like I did not feel safe. I did not feel secure. I did not feel comfortable. I felt on edge and like I had something to prove constantly. And if I lost that person, I would be left with nothing.
Right.
And that is not how you want to feel in a relationship. That is not how you deserve to feel in a relationship. And you should want so much more for yourself.
Yeah. It's not just about them picking you. It's not about like you keeping them. I did the same thing. I was very much, I didn't want another relationship. I didn't want another failed relationship. And that's what I considered them. Like it was a failure if it ended. It was a failure if the guy ghosted me. And it was like, I just wanted to keep them so badly that I would do anything or put on this facade of a person. It was for my own ego.
Yeah.
That like I just wanted them to love me and prove to myself that I was lovable.
Do you still now feel like those were failed relationships?
No, I absolutely don't think like any relationship is a failure because like, if you can take a lesson from it,
you learn
not
so
a failure.
Much.
Yeah. And I always joke that like, you have a glow up every time you come out of a relationship. But I've had 8 relationships. So I've glowed up.
You are shining so bright. You are
times.
radiating glowiness from every millimeter of your body.
I've learned, I've like just gotten better. But like, you know, I think it's also important for people to like have a lot of relationships and date a lot.
Yeah.
Dating's a fucking skill. Also, being with a person is a skill. Like, I can't remember if I said this on when I came onto your podcast, but Mr. Right, I'm like his first serious girlfriend. I was the first girl he ever brought home to his parents and whatever. And sometimes I'm like, A, are you going to wake up one day and be like, I didn't experience enough people? And B, like sometimes with his reaction to certain things, I'm like, but you don't know that that's normal because you haven't been in a million relationships like I have. Or like you don't know that that's bad because you haven't been in as many relationships. So I think it's like, you know, you need that experience. And like breakups aren't a bad thing. Like there's a million fish in the sea.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm also like Jake's first serious relationship. So many people ask me like, is that a red flag? Or they'll be like, I really like this person, but she's never been in a relationship before. And like to me, I didn't care.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, that just meant that there was no ex I had to worry about.
Yes.
Just because someone hasn't been in a relationship doesn't mean they don't have relationship skills. Like, there could be someone who's been in 20 relationships who's horrible at being in relationships.
That was me.
8, not 20.
Yes.
But you have relationships, even if they're not romantic relationships, or even if they're 8-month-long situationships and it just wasn't like a going the distance, meet the parents type of thing. You know, that doesn't mean that you're not capable of being in a long-term committed relationship. Yeah. It takes two people to create this relationship together. And so I don't think it's a red flag about somebody at all. In fact, like I think it could be a green flag.
Yeah. I definitely didn't think anything of it when I went into the relationship. It was more like things were coming to light during it. Like currently, he'll think I am doing something crazy. And I'm like, no. Everyone would do this. Anyways, now that I know your love of game nights, number one, we will be doing a game night together at some point. Yes. I fucking love games. I have a whole game cabinet. So
me too.
We're doing that.
Love.
But number two, I have a game right now.
Okay.
Got really official.
I need to get those. They look great.
Thank you. I picked them up this morning. It's in my day in the life.
Wow. Mazel tov.
Thank you. Okay, so this game, obviously first time playing it because my first time having a guest, it's called Too Much or Not Enough.
Love.
Right?
Love.
So essentially, I'm just going to rattle down rapid fire a list of things and you decide if that's cringe, too much, or not enough. We want more of that.
Hit me.
Obviously, I always promote that like nothing is ever too much, but for the sake of the game, it's like a good game. So fuck it. We're going to have kind of like a couples portion and then also a singles portion.
Let's do it.
Okay. Matching tattoos.
Too much.
Like I have them.
Too much.
I agree.
But I'm also not a tattoo person. So to some people, like, that doesn't really hold that much weight.
Sharing locations.
Just right.
Not enough.
Not enough.
We need more of that. I agree. I am like a share location. I want you to know where I am in case I die. But also 100%. Like, are you late? Where are you?
Yeah.
So I don't have to ask.
Oh, the number of times I don't have to ask Jake, like, have you left work yet? Because I can just look.
Yeah. I also don't call people if I see that they're at work or something. Like, it's just important. I share with everyone. I don't care. Couple collab posts when it's not a baby.
Not enough.
Yeah?
Why not?
Okay.
If it weren't for couple collab posts, people wouldn't know that Jake was in a relationship. You don't understand.
Because he's post.
He hasn't posted on his own since I met him.
Okay.
So like I think it's funny because prior to being with him, like I would have been so self-conscious if I was dating somebody who didn't post me on Instagram. I think we were like a year into our relationship and I'm like, Jake, like people don't know that you have a girlfriend. And so he put it in his bio that he reposts. It's like his mom had a like candied nuts company at the time. So he wrote, I repost Nancy's nuts and my girlfriend.
Oh, wait, that's cute. That's funny.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's still his bio.
I really love that.
Me too.
Okay, on that note, changing your Facebook relationship status in 2025.
Too much. I'm still single on Facebook.
Same.
And people have reached out to me, like screenshot and DM me and like message me being like, you should change it.
Shut up.
Like listeners and followers.
I'd be like, unfollow me, like Facebook user. Okay. Birthday tribute in feed, only 2 months into dating.
Too much.
Too much. I agree. Ring shopping together before you are engaged.
Not enough. More of that. I like that.
Agreed. Meeting the parents under 6 months.
Not enough.
Yeah. I'm into that. Okay. More of that, people. Social media breakup announcements.
Oh my God. I was about to say too much. I'm going to say not enough.
Really? You want the drama?
As a viewer, as a consumer of social media, I want to know the details. Yeah. If you're going to, I'm like joking with this, but like if you are going to post all about your relationship, you also need to share why you broke up.
You have a responsibility.
You do. You owe it to us. Obviously, unless you're like a celebrity,
right.
like, no, like, it's too much. But also, selfishly, We need more of that.
Yes. I actually saw one on my way here, which
what
was
happened?
like odd. And it was after I wrote these. I didn't read it, but I did screenshot it, so I can show you after.
Okay.
It was a famous person, but like I didn't know who he was.
R.I.P.
So sorry for you guys. Hope you're okay. Vacation before you're officially dating.
Can I explain my thought process?
This is your world.
Not enough, because taking a little trip together, even like a 2-3 nighter, is a really great way to test out, how you guys are when it's just the two of you. Like, I think that's something that every couple should do in their first like 3-4 months, but also too much because, one person might think it means more than what it means. And then if things end after that, they'll feel really misled.
Completely agree. Like, I think as long as you're both like open at it and like that it's soon, but like, yeah, it's such a good fucking test. Like, if you can vacation together, there's a lot you could do together.
100%.
Yeah. Moving in after 3 months.
Too much.
Agreed.
That's just crazy.
Unless, no, it's crazy. Can you tell I'm a recovering love bomb victim? I'm like, oh no, I deserve that. I deserve not to pay rent. Going through who they follow.
Too much.
Agreed.
If you trust your partner, there's no need.
Yeah.
I have never once tried to, or even felt like I've wanted to or needed to look through Jake's texts or anything. I don't give a shit because I fully trust him.
Yeah, agreed. I knew someone once that knew the number, and when he would go away, if she like saw it go up, she'd be like, who did you just follow? And like see if it was girls.
That was me in a past life, and it was fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's called being insecure in a relationship, people.
And being right about the fact that you're being cheated on, even though you were being gaslit and told you were crazy.
Tell us for more tips. Couples therapy before marriage.
Not enough.
Really?
Not enough.
Elaborate.
You don't need to be in crisis to be going to couples therapy. It's an amazing way to talk through things, to get on the same page, to, plan for the future. I think if you wait until everything's falling apart to go to couples therapy, there's a lot more work that needs to be done. Same thing with therapy. Like, you don't have to be in crisis to go to therapy. It's something to like help you sort through your shit and, just someone to talk to. Same thing. It's like going to the gym to get stronger for your relationship.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I actually you just flip-flopped me from too much to not enough.
I've had a lot of couples therapists on seeing other people. They're wonderful.
That's great advice. Getting a dog before married/living together.
Not enough.
So like just dating, like shared custody.
Too much.
Yeah.
It has to be one person's dog. And then.
Right. Yeah. I have been a dog stepmom.
Oh,
multiple times.
Oh, that's hard.
So
that's hard. Yeah. Then you miss the dog too. Sometimes more.
Okay. On to when you're single and dating. Double texting.
Not enough.
I agree and disagree. I think you have to read the room.
Of course. Yes. But if you have something to say it.
Yeah. I also I think I'm really funny. So like sometimes if I have like a funny little ad, I'll be like, oh my God, just did this FML. Something like, I was thinking of you and whatever. I don't care that you didn't text me. I also think it shows confidence.
Totally.
But at the same time, I'm like, if you reached out and they did not follow up, like, don't.
If you're always texting first, if you're always nudging them, maybe they're not that interested.
Yeah. Read the room. Read the room, people. Using AI to write prompt and text. Anything.
2 separate questions. Pick one.
First prompt.
Not enough.
On dating apps?
Absolutely. You should, because people are really bad at talking about themselves. And if you can give AI, whatever prompt you want to use or a list of the prompts and tell the AI different things about you and your personality and have the AI craft a prompt that represents you, great. People really struggle to actually share information about themselves on their profile because we were never taught how to. And this is why I get paid to do it for people. But AI is a great tool to, plug in actual information about yourself. As long as you're not asking AI, write something really funny and witty, prompt me to give you information about myself that you can turn into a prompt. Great.
Genius. That's genius.
Yeah. Texting, no.
Right.
You need to be yourself. I think you should text your crush the way you text your friends.
Yeah. You don't want to catfish people.
Right.
With your humor and stuff.
Absolutely.
Because we'll figure it out. Telling your mom after the first date.
Depends who you are. Too much.
This is interesting. Stalking their Spotify to gauge their emotional availability.
Too much. But first of all, if someone stalked my Spotify, they would think I'm a 12-year-old. So.
It's like Baby Shark. Okay. Time for 2 more questions. Soft launching on Instagram.
not enough. It's fun. Why not? It keeps people interesting. But again, if you're going to soft launch, you owe them the breakup post.
Yeah. Okay. Agree. That's the rule. I like a soft launch of a story, not in feed. Did I tell you my rule?
No.
I have a very strict rule. No boyfriend in feed until there's a ring on my finger.
Wow. So no boyfriend in feed.
I've stuck
just fiance in feed.
Yeah, correct.
Wow.
I've stuck to that my entire life.
Wow.
Obviously. Mr. Right is like in a reel or in a carousel, but he's never my cover photo.
Wow.
So this is a funny one. And this is the last one.
I love when you laugh before you talk. I'm obsessed.
It's like a weird one.
Providing me so much joy.
I'm the only person that thinks it's funny. Eating grapes at midnight under the table on New Year's Eve.
I didn't know that was a thing until this year.
It's too fucking much.
Yeah.
Get up. Get up. Get out from under the table. That's all the time we have. That's a lot of mic drop. Parting words. What are your top 3 tips for people to make their dating app profile more attractive?
Absolutely, positively put information about yourself in your profile. Nobody cares how witty you come off if you're not saying anything about yourself. So make a list of places you like to go, things you like to do. The prompt that led to my marriage was in my profile, and it said, I won't shut up about my dog Zoe, Sugarfish, the Jonas Brothers, and whatever song I'm listening to on repeat right now. That gives someone so many talking points. That gives so many different types of people talking points. You have to put information about yourself in your profile. Number 2, if you are a girl, don't make your profile look like your Instagram. Your profile is not for other girls to think you're cool. It's for a guy to learn your personality. And number 3, don't just send a like, send a comment, start a conversation.
That was so fucking good. I can't believe I just asked you that on the fly. By the way, everyone did not give her any sort of heads up that I was doing that. That was really, really impressive.
Thank you.
What a note to end on.
No, the note that I'm going to end on is that I've been on a kick with grapes lately, and I have to mention, grapes with almond butter, so good. Amazing snack.
Red grapes or green?
I've been doing green.
Interesting. It's like a PB&J.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to try that when I get home. Well, thank you so much for joining me today and being my first guest ever. Guys, everyone go over to Seeing Other People. Follow on Instagram, on Spotify, Apple, TikTok.
Wherever.
Everywhere. Just everywhere.
I'm easy to find. Yeah. But go listen to our episode of Seeing Other People. Yes. Now that you've listened to this, we giggle a lot. There's a lot of great stuff in there.
It's great. It's not enough. Not enough.
Yeah, not enough. Not enough. Emma and Ilana.
Not enough. All right, guys. See you next week.
Peace. That was weird.
I will be.
The peace.